this could be actually huge. I bet a bunch of you are on X, and this video is basically surrounding around one of the many scenarios that Bengal fans are wanting to happen in this year's draft. And if you remember from last video, I hinted at it being related to Boise State and potentially a running back from Boise State. And if you pay attention to football at all, you know exactly who I'm talking about. But this would be huge for Cincinnati in whatever way you want to take it. So let's jump right into it. You guys know who I'm talking about. Ashton Jeanty has been linked to the Bengals several times. Not saying like linked to the Bengals like they're going to draft him, but like people are wanting Cincinnati to draft him. And Cincinnati, yes, has indeed met with Ashton Jeanty this offseason. And the draft is less than a month away. And some NFL insiders have hinted at the fact that Ashton Jeanty might fall down the draft, saying he might be there at 17. And because of this, Cincinnati Bengal fans are going insane, saying that maybe Ashton Jeanty could be a Cincinnati Bengal in the stripe. Then our backfield would be Chase Brown and Ashton Jeanty. And I'm not lying. Look at this. Look, so this is from draft, or the X. Go to X and just look up Ashton Jeanty. You see a bunch of Bengal stuff. I think I speak for all Bengals fans when I say Jeanty is the pick at 17. Another one, football forever. What if the Bengals found a way to land Boise State star running back Ashton Jeanty in April's draft? The Bengals, who just signed wide receivers Jamar Chase and Higgins to lucrative extensions, could upgrade their backfield with a shock move up the board for the All-American running back. Now let me say this. I love Ashton Jeanty. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I'm a huge college football fan. I love Ashton Jeanty. I was rooting for Ashton Jeanty hard and Boise State hard in the playoffs. I love Ashton Jeanty. He's a great kid. Great guy, acting like I'm old or whatever. Saying he's a kid. But anyways, he's a great dude. He follows after God. Great dude. I love Ashton Jeanty. I would personally love to have Ashton Jeanty on the Cincinnati Bengals. And I'm not saying that pick at 17 would be a necessarily good pick for what Cincinnati needs. But if you're asking me if I could have Ashton Jeanty, I would say yes. I would love to have Ashton Jeanty. That doesn't mean I think it would be a good idea to draft him at 17, but I would love to have him. And look at this picture right there. And this is from Boise State's pro day. He looks massive. Oh my, like look at the kind of difference. Like, I mean, yes, he's obviously still big in this, but look at, he got massive. Ashton Jeanty this season absolutely went insane, breaking tons of records. Had 2,601 yards and 29 touchdowns in 2024 alone. That's not his career stats. That was his 2024 stats alone. If you don't watch college football, go watch this dude's highlights. The dude is a beast. He cannot get tackled. It's actually insane. And people say he's falling because of his lackluster performance against Penn State in their playoff game. That doesn't make sense to me. Ashton Jeanty still ran, and he did have some fumbles, but he rushed for over 100 yards on one of the best defenses, and if I'm thinking correctly, the number 2 overall best defense in college football last season. He rushed for over 100 yards. Ashton Jeanty is going to be a problem in the backfield no matter what team he goes to. And if I could have him on the Bengals in the stripes, I think that would be insane. Imagine that offense. Joe Burrow, obviously, the center of it all, best quarterback in the league. Then you have Jamar Chase, best wide receiver 1 in the league. Then you have T. Higgins, best wide receiver 2 in the league. Then you got Mike Gesicki, who's basically a slot playing tight end. And then you got Yoshavash as a wide receiver 3, who's going to be the best wide receiver 3 in the league. And then you have Chase Brown, who's an absolute stud. And then the other the other running back is Ashton freaking Jeanty. Are you kidding me? I don't care if we have to win 85-80. If we win games with that offense, we would. That would be insane. Not saying I think that's the right move for the 17 overall pick, but imagining Ashton Jeanty on the Bengals in the stripes is at least fun to talk about. And I think I get a good kick out of it whenever I see an X notification pop up on my phone talking about Ashton Jeanty to the Bengals. Do I think it's going to happen? No. Do I think it would be the good or best pick for us at 17? Unfortunately, no. But I would love to see Ashton Jeanty in the stripes. Maybe if the Bengals, if he falls like drastically for whatever reason, and we trade down and we get 2 more picks instead of 6, we have 8 picks, and he falls to late first round, we can pick him up. Not with our first pick of the draft, but maybe if we trade some few picks or whatever. In whatever scenario, I would be absolutely insane. But if we could have Ashton Genty outside of number 17 overall, then I wouldn't be too opposed to it. I just don't think I can not waste, but spend the 17 overall pick on a running back when yes, the running game is a need, and we need to have a guy opposite side of Chase Brown, even though Chase Brown has solidified himself as a starter. We need somebody outside of him. Every single great offense has that 1-2 punch. And I have said multiple times, I've been very vocal, I want us to go after a running back in this year's draft. I just don't think I'm going to be able to spend it early enough to get Ashton Genty. So there's a few more options that I think we could go, which is going to be the rest of this video. So let's jump into the other guys that I think we could go after if Ashton Genty miraculously doesn't fall. But anyways, first guy to talk about, Quinshon Judkins, running back from Ohio State. There's two Buckeyes I want to talk about. These would be a little bit earlier picks, so I'm probably leaning more back to the back half, the latter half of the guys I'm talking about. But Quinshon Judkins, he is the opposite of Chase Brown. Chase Brown is that speed back. He's going to hit that hole and he's going to go 100 miles per hour and he's going to beat everybody. Quinshon Judkins is kind of similar to Ashton Genty, but more of a bruiser than Ashton Genty. Ashton Genty is kind of like the hybrid between speed and bruiser. Quinshon Judkins is that absolute bruiser. He's going to smack somebody to the ground. He literally, this in the playoffs where this picture is taken from, he literally dribbled a guy's head on the ground. He's an absolute unit. Look at his thighs. Look at his arms. He's a unit. He's not the fastest, but he's that third down, fourth down, that goal line back who you plug it, hand it off 3 times in a row, and he's going to get his way into the end zone, and he's going to get that 3 to 4 yards in the pile of dust. That's Quinshon Judkins. So if you want the opposite side of Chase Brown, go after Q. Great running back, great guy. The other guy from Ohio State, TreVeyon Henderson, he is very similar to Chase Brown, where they both are extremely speedy backs. TreVeyon Henderson, just like Chase Brown, you never know when Henderson is going to break it free. In this picture, this is to set this stage. Obviously, I'm a Buckeye, so people are going to think I'm biased or whatever, but I don't really care. Ohio State was up 7-0. Then Texas scored with 30 seconds left until halftime. They threw a screen pass. Ohio State threw a screen pass, and they thought it was kind of going to end the game. TreVeyon Henderson broke it for an 80-yard touchdown to end the half and put Ohio State back up 14-7. My point with telling that story is TreVeyon Henderson, you never know when he's going to break one. Kind of like Chase Brown. They're both speedy. If Chase Brown hits that hole, he is gone. If TreVeyon Henderson hits that hole, he is gone. He has speed like no other. Him and Chase Brown together with 2 speed backs would absolutely be insane because you would never know what to expect. If we hand it off to Chase Brown, he can break it for a good 30 yards. And the next play, hand it off to TreVeyon Henderson, and he's going to break it for 40 yards. And then Chase Brown's going to break it for another touchdown. TreVeyon Henderson and Chase Brown with a 1-2 punch with speed would be deadly. That would be probably the fastest running back duo in the NFL. That would actually be really fun to watch. With Q, I think you would have to probably get him in the second round, around maybe third. I don't expect him to fall to the third, but Q probably a second round pick. TreVeyon Henderson, for whatever reason, is projected third round. If he falls third round to the Cincinnati Bengals, I think that's the perfect pickup. And that's what I would do. I would go defense or guard, pick 1 and 2, like go Walter Nolan, then Walter Nolan, defensive tackle from Ole Miss, round 1. Round 2, get Tate Ratledge from Georgia, offensive guard. And then round 3, if TreVeyon Henderson's there, I would go running back TreVeyon Henderson in the third round. If that was the 1, 2, 3 in the first, second, and third round, I think turns this team significantly better in the first 3 rounds. 2 other guys who I think would be probably a little bit more likely, I've talked about before. Cam Skattebo, absolutely insane. I didn't say any of their stats. Quinshon Judkins last season, 1,060 yards with 14 touchdowns, and then TreVeyon Henderson had 1,016 yards, 10 touchdowns. So obviously, combine that, Ashton Genty and TreVeyon Henderson together on the same team, rushed for over 2,000 yards and over 20 touchdowns combined. Running back, 1A and 1B, basically. Going on to the next guy, Cam Skattebo. Talked about him a lot. For whatever reason, he's a 4th or 5th round pick. He is the reason Arizona State went as far as they did. in the playoffs, and they should have beaten Texas in that playoff game, if you know what I'm talking about. But Cam Skattebo, kind of similar to Ashton Jeanty. He is a bruiser. He's not the fastest guy, but you can't tackle him at all. Like, people bounce off of him. And he's very versatile. He's great in the receiving game as a running back. Same with TreVeyon Henderson. TreVeyon Henderson is a great receiving back. Cam Skattebo is a great receiving back. You can't tackle him. Last season, he had 1,711 yards, 21 total touchdowns. And if you can get him in the 4th round, Cam Skattebo to the 4th round, and then have Chase Brown and Cam Skattebo in the backfield, absolute freaking monster duo. Would be probably one of the best duos in the NFL right now, with Chase Brown and Cam Skattebo in the backfield. Absolutely insane. Go watch Cam Skattebo's highlights. Absolutely insane, dude. Once again, the biggest thing with Cam Skattebo, he is so freaking hard to tackle. Like, if you go watch his highlights, it takes like a minimum of 4 to 5 guys every play to get this guy down. He does not go down. He plays with heart. He plays with passion, and he cannot be tackled. And he's a freaking beast, and he has an arm too. He threw some touchdowns this season as well. So that'd be a good pickup. And then the last guy I've also talked about before, late 4th, 5th round guy, who would still be a significant improvement to the offense and to the running back group. Same with Cam Skattebo, is Ollie Gordon II from Oklahoma State. 2024 was a little bit of a down year for him, so I'm going to say last year's stats and then the year before. The year before, he almost won the Heisman. He was climbing up the Heisman ranks late in the season, but last season he ran for 880 yards, had 13 touchdowns, but the year and season before that, he ran for 1,732 yards and 21 touchdowns, so he took a step back. But if Cincinnati can do the right things and like draft like a Tate Ratledge 2nd round and build the offensive line in front of Ollie Gordon and have the passing threat with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins, Ollie Gordon, I would expect to have a similar 2023 season as he did for the Cincinnati Bengals this coming season if we were to draft him. With the amount of firepower this offense has, any running back you plug in the backfield can be electric if you use him in the proper way. And Ollie Gordon is kind of similar, or not similar. He's kind of the opposite side of Chase Brown. Chase Brown is a smaller guy who's fast, but Ollie Gordon is a big guy who is also fast, but also is hard to tackle. I'm not saying it's easy to tackle Chase Brown, but he's a big guy with speed, and it's hard to tackle. He's more of that bruiser, 3-4 yards in a cloud of dust kind of guy. I said pile of dust was Quinshon Judkins, a cloud of dust. That's the proper saying. But anyways, any of these guys I would love to have on the team. I love all of them. I love college football. I followed all of these guys for a very long time. And all of them would be a significant improvement to our running back core. With Chase Brown, I love Chase Brown. He's our running back 1 for sure for the foreseeable future. Add one of these guys in the other on the opposite side in the backfield, and you have Chase Brown and any of these guys. It improves the offense significantly, and you can be smart in the draft. So just go over it again. Ashton Genty, you would have to spend the 1st round pick on him. Maybe 2nd round. Maybe. I'm like 1% chance he falls to the 2nd round. So you would have to pick Ashton Genty 1st round. Then Quinshon Judkins, probably 2nd round pick, more of a bruiser type of running back. TreVeyon Henderson is the exact same as Chase Brown, absolute speed. Demon, probably 2nd round, maybe 3rd round pick. Cam Skattebo, an absolute bruiser, can't tackle him. Probably 4th, 3rd, 5th round, in between that 3rd, 5th round range. And then Ollie Gordon, massive guy with speed and hard to tackle. Probably looking around the same 3rd to 5th round pickup. Any of these guys, like I said, adding to this already significantly dominant offense would just make it that much bigger. And then I think our running game would take the step it needs to become one of the best running games in the league. We already got Chase Brown, who we know is our starter. Add one of these guys, and it gets just that much better. And then you have another option for Joe Burrow to dunk it off to. A bunch of these guys like TreVeyon Henderson is a great receiving back. Ashton Jeanty is a great receiving back. Cam Skattebo is a great receiving back. So all these guys that I mentioned could be a huge asset to the Bengals next season. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below what you would like the Cincinnati Bengals to do with the running back room in this draft. If it's one of these guys you'd like to see us go after, or if it's somebody else in the draft. There's a lot of other guys in this draft that I didn't talk about that would be huge additions to this offense. this is a really deep running back room in this year's draft. Even like you could get an undrafted free agent like a RJ Harvey from UCF. There's a lot of guys. So let me know down below what running back you would like to go after, or if you would like us to not even go after a running back in the draft. Don't forget to like this video. Share this with your other Bengal friends because Bengal football is better together. Subscribe to the channel because we're on the road to 1,500. I know we can do it, and I can't thank you guys enough for all the love you've shown this channel. I appreciate it more than you'll ever know. But for the Bengals Digest channel, I'm Carson Lokey. Have an amazing one, and God bless.